Hi, my name is Matthew Burr with the Loan Factory, and I'm a licensed loan officer, number NMLS 1263029, and I've been a loan officer for about 11 years now, licensed in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Florida. I've also a licensed realtor in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and been so for about 5 or 6 years now. Now, mortgages are interesting, and people make a big deal about them, and they overcomplicate it sometimes. It's really simple. The goal of a mortgage is to decide, okay, I need money for a house, I have a down payment, do I have the ability to repay, and do I have a good credit score? That's really what it comes down to. And then sometimes we get into a lot more creative situations where people have hard income to prove, or maybe they're doing based on assets they may own, different types of loans, or if they're self-employed, a lot of times we do bank statement loans. So a lot of times we get into some creative solutions, and it's just to solve those simple questions. Can you buy a house? Can you pay it off? And can you prove that you can pay it off? My phone number is 401-640-3364. I'm going to go into a few examples of types of loans that I've seen and done that are a little bit different and outside the box. One quick one though, before we go on location, is I had a husband and wife where the one spouse owned the house and the other one was the income earner. So we had to get a little creative, but we got some money out for them, and they're able to renovate their house. And another quick one we did was I had a customer that's in a lease-to-own situation, and I was able to complete the loan so they were able to complete the purchase. Otherwise, they would have left a lot of money on the table. Some benefits to owning real estate include tax benefits, where you may be able to save money, especially on investment properties. You get a lot of big deductions that way, and I can show you how to do it. I've also owned real estate or been involved in investments in real estate for the last 10 years. So I can show you what I've done and show you what people I know have done, and that will help you in your journey going forward. So stick around and you can see a lot of interesting houses. Here was an interesting property where this house was lived in for about 40-something years and had fallen off a little bit. So this property ended up getting 2 loans. First, it was a fix and flip loan where we got a loan to make the house all renovated, up to date, and everything's the spigots brand new, the windows are brand new, the inside stuff brand new, kitchen, everything like that. And then the person who owns this house decided he wanted to rent it out as an investment because a person decided that real estate appreciates and owning a property is a great thing to do, so you can have a investment nest egg. So we did a DSCR loan, which is debt service coverage ratio loan. And what that does is it lets the person who owns it have a mortgage on the house, and the ability to repay is based on the tenant paying the rent. So this house is a great example of that. So the person who owns this now can have it for like 15, 20 years, should have no issues with it, and have a good nest egg for their retirement. When I talk about doing loans for individuals with different situations, this house behind me was an excellent example of it. This was a situation where somebody wanted to move into a house, a multifamily, get some income, but also wanted to live on their own. This house was actually in nearly tear me down status. It was ready to go, but they did a 203K loan. They live in it now, and the house came out beautiful. They did a lot of work to it. They got the money to rehab it on the loan, but now they have a lot of options. These people could take the money, do a refi, pull some money out of the house, buy another house, either another owner-occupied or another investment property. And buying this house sets them up. And these guys were in their 20s when they got this mortgage to buy this house, and that's what I like to do. Real estate can sometimes accomplish interesting goals for you that have nothing to do with real estate. This is a customer that wanted a nice big garage so he can work on cars, and I suggested to him, because he had some money, I said, why don't you buy a property with a giant garage on it instead of renting it? So, because he was renting a space from somebody he knew and was charging him quite a bit of money, but instead he bought this property that you see, and the house is rented out, the house pays the mortgage, and he gets this garage essentially for free. Obviously he has to pay the down payment, but it's a situation where real estate can accomplish other goals. And don't forget tax benefits, depreciation, interest deduction, and the house does appreciate. So it's a good long-term investment and a good short-term investment. It's a win all the way around. So sometimes real estate can solve a problem that you may not even know you have. And this is the last property on our little tour today, and you've seen a lot of different scenarios that people have had when they decide to get a mortgage, whether the property not be in great shape, whether it be an investment property like this one, where a DSCR works. This property is also zoned as mixed use, but because the owner uses it as complete residential, he's able to get a residential loan on it. So that makes a big deal too. I didn't really discuss it yet, but we do have different loans that may work for somebody in a divorce situation, which is a common one too. So, even though mortgages are simple, it's just income, credit score, ability to repay. It gets a little complicated, a little interesting, potentially it gets a little creative, but that's what you have me for. And give me a call, 401-640-3364, and I will be happy to discuss whatever scenario you're in. And also, don't forget, even if you're not going to buy this year, if it's going to be next year, the year after, or you're going to do whatever you want to do, call me now, get you in a better position when the time is right.